winners and losers of NBA Christmas games. So going with the winners first, I guess I'll start.
Like I'm really having difficulty here though with like the winners and the losers. Like it's obvious. If you lost, you're a loser. You won, you're a winner. It's clear as day.
There are storylines within these games that I think we can pinpoint.
What are they?
I don't know. Well, here's the one to highlight. The one to highlight mostly is the Memphis Golden State game. That's really the one that you have to look at and think. The Grizzlies went out sorry. They talked a lot of shit, and the Warriors came out and punched them in the mouth. Other one you could also.
So that's it. Nothing else. You don't want to talk about anything else?
Oh, you're gonna talk about the Lakers and the Bears?
I'm about to go.
Let's hear it.
No, I'm saying you don't want to highlight nothing else that you've been pretty down about. Like,
I said the Warriors. You can't count them out.
Somebody very specific, very individual. You don't want to
highlight someone that goes swimming. Maybe
Klay Thompson.
Fuck no.
I'm asking
someone that does.
That's great because my winner here. I think Jordan Poole's confidence.
There we go.
32 points in 29 minutes. He looked like the best player on the floor for most of the game, and he's somebody that you was doubting.
I didn't doubt him.
Shut up.
I called him overrated.
That's what the fuck
He's
is that?
overrated.
Okay.
He's not
because
though.
people like
when
you.
He starts, he's
what do
people
I
like
think
you,
he is? What do I think he is?
You think he's about to be on the course to being the next Steph Curry?
You're fucking
Relax
liar.
it.
I've never
Relax
said,
it.
You're a fucking liar. I've never said that in my life. Just Steph grooms him. Same way how LeBron groomed THT, and it didn't fucking work.
The correlation actually is so non-existent.
You saw the way Steph was coaching him on the sideline.
I tweeted about it.
I loved it. And when Jordan Poole early in the season said that teams guard me like Steph when I come off the bench, he's right. And now you're seeing when he's starting, they're playing him similar to Steph. And he's playing like this. I'm not saying he's gonna be Steph, but Jordan Poole. I mean, he has a lot of potential, man. And when he gets hot, he's amazing.
So perfectly said, amazing, right there, perfect. When he gets hot,
when he's a starter. He's amazing.
When he gets hot, he is amazing.
When he's a starter,
I could not agree more. But he's so damn streaky. That's my issue.
When he's starting, he's literally amazing.
All right, he was starting. He was having some cold moments as well. Okay. But for the majority, absolutely. Games, I'm not going to say it wrong.
Poole feels more streaky than others.
I don't know about that.
You don't?
When he is hot, Poole is fucking great.
But when he's off,
he's been fired these last couple games. Absolutely, Riv. I'll give you the credit. But when he's cold, he's cold.
Since December 5th, these have been his game logs. 23, 36, 20, 18, 20, 29, 43, 26, 13, 32.
Oh, wow. The 13s get scattered in there. The 19s get scattered in there.
But for the most part, he's consistent.
You just named me a couple of games where he was under 20 points.
I named you 2.
And then 20 flat, right?
Yeah, 20 flat's not bad.
It's not bad. Absolutely not.
He had 2 games where it's 20 flat and 2 games under 20.
And what are the efficiencies here?
The efficiencies, let me get that for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It really means a lot.
In the month of December, I'll show you the efficiencies that he's had.
What are we talking about?
Poole. Just Poole being
he's a little bit streaky.
That's my issue. And it's nothing against Poole. I think Poole's a very fine basketball player.
I don't like Poole.
In the month of December,
you're out
as a man.
Oh.
So in December,
the hilarious coming from you.
That's why it is.
In December, Poole is averaging 26. In December, he's averaging 26, 2, and 4. Shooting 45% from the field and 33% from 3.
33% from 3. Yeah. Got to bring that up. You're a 3-point shooter.
But he's averaging 26.
Oh, absolutely. He's been great. He's been great.
Jaylen Brown's averaging 26.
Can I ask what's the attempts?
30% from 3. You don't say a word. He's all NBA.
What's the attempts? Hey, listen, no one's hooting and hollering about 33%.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Poole got similar stats to Jaylen Brown.
I'm asking.
He's saying Jaylen Brown all NBA.
Because they're going to say the defense.
And he knows that's facts. But read me,
even though his defense has been okay.
Read me the attempts right per game. Can you do that for me?
Who's the best team? What happens when you guys go on the road?
Fucking
9 threes a game.
What are you 3-14 on the road, bro?
Well, we're the best team at home.
I know it doesn't make any sense.
Taking almost 10 threes a game.
I don't know about you, Joel, but I think the Celtics were the biggest winner because
ironic.
I'm just spitballing here. Just took a lot of shit over these last week, 2 weeks. About the Celtics because, there's an 82-game season and the Celtics were the best team in basketball for the first 2 months and they went on a bad 8-game stretch. All of a sudden, all these teams could beat them. But right now, even after that bad stretch, the Celtics still have the best offense in the NBA, the best net rating, the best plus-minus, the best point differential, 7th best defense, 2nd best true shooting percentage, and the best record in the NBA. Did you know 4 out of the last 6 NBA champions have had the best record by Christmas? Boston Celtics have the best record right now. Now, I'm not saying anything negative about your teams, the teams you root for, because there's like 8 of them. But just put some damn respect on the Celtics for once. I know you tweeted sarcastically, you can't sleep on the Celtics, this and that. You should be talking to your damn self. Celtics are the best team in basketball still. 3-game win streak. Beat the Bucks national television. Dominated the Bucks. Jason Tatum dunked on Giannis. Made him his son. Masterclass.
Listen, Dehls.
Winner. Biggest winner.
I love his passion.
Made my Christmas.
And I will say this to you, Dehls.
Elated.
I've been the first one to tell you that the Celtics are going to eventually, they're going to get out the slump. First one to tell you that, listen, the Celtics, you can trust this team. You can trust this team. This team is battle-tested. That's the number one thing I said to you about the Celtics. No team should be sleeping on the Celtics. They're a great, phenomenal team. But look at what the team in Brooklyn is doing, the Nets. I mean, the Nets are doing something that I can't turn a blind eye to. You can't turn a blind eye to.
Oh, I'm not.
It's about time that you're recognizing that. You're recognizing
I feel like I've been respecting
and
the Nets over the last couple
NBA
weeks.
is starting to recognize how great the Brooklyn Nets are. Now, listen, the Celtics are phenomenal, but the Nets just embarrassed the Bucks. The Celtics embarrassed the Bucks too. The Bucks, this should be, and this is my losers here. 21-point blowout on Christmas. What are you doing, Giannis? Couldn't even get the over on what I bet on him. That's when I knew he's not the guy. Now listen,
you can't win a championship with Giannis as your best player.
Now the Bucks. I will say this: when they won the championship,
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Man to man, I'm sorry. That was rude.
When they won the championship, the Bucks,
fraudulent.
Chris Middleton went on a run that he never went on before. He never did.
Stop it. This is where you're losing me. Don't do that.
This season, do I expect Chris Middleton to go on another run like that again? No. Given where his health is at right now? No. Do I count on him? No. Can a healthy Bucks team beat Boston? They can. But I have major, major concerns about the Bucks. The Bucks are the 3rd best team in the East. Maybe even 4. Maybe I might drop them because Philly's coming. Oh, they're coming hot. Led by James Harden and Joel Embiid. I got them as winners too. The duo of Embiid and Harden. Embiid at 35-8. Harden had 29-13. One of the best scorers and playmakers in NBA history. The Eastern Conference is between the Nets and the Boston Celtics. In the offseason, you acted like it was a foregone conclusion that the Nets got no chance.
Joel, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Now, listen,
really do.
right?
Joel,
this is what it's going to be.
I really apologize. I need to interrupt. I'm sorry. This is the last time I'll do it. The last show we literally had a conversation about the Eastern Conference and it being wide open or not. You told me the Eastern Conference is as wide open as the West. But now you're going to sit here and tell me that it's between Brooklyn and Boston, and that's
Those are the 2 top teams I see.
They're the 2 favorites for sure.
I'm not disagreeing.
I think mine.
The whole point is this was not your statement a couple days ago.
No, I'm saying, hold up. We have to.
Well,
relax.
he tried to throw the Sixers in there.
We have to relax. The Sixers.
He tried to throw the Knicks in there.
The Sixers at their maximum capacity, their potential, they got a chance. The Bucks, they got a chance. I'm not ruling them out, but right now, I think the East is gonna go through the Celtics and the Nets.
Hold on,
that's my prediction.
I have a problem
now,
right now.
Is the
so
East,
it's not open?
Is the East
so it's
wide
not open?
My prediction: East, Nets, Celtics.
I just have an issue with your statement when you talk about us in the offseason. Because in the offseason, you're right. I said the Nets do not have a chance against the Celtics.
The Nets have a chance. No, but to be fair,
in the offseason, Rev,
I'm sorry.
Real quick.
I don't like when you say that.
Because in the offseason, that's what I said.
Yes, the Nash Nets.
Exactly. Because once Nash got fired, you were able to change your mind and say the Nets are back in. But I can't change my mind. Have I not been saying over the last 2-3 weeks? Yes, the Nets are right up there with everyone else in the East. At first I said they're right below the Celtics and Bucks. That was like a month ago. Now I said absolutely they're in contender status. They are playing some of the best basketball in the NBA. I'm still taking the Celtics. Don't get it twisted. But don't say, oh, in the offseason you said you didn't have a chance when it was Steve Nash. Just like you said, well, it's a different coach now. I could change my mind just like you changed your mind.
He is spitting.
Be a man. What you just said about changing your mind and how it was fair for you to change it at the moment because circumstances changed. Welcome to my world, buddy. Welcome to my world.
You did.
Welcome to my world.
That's what you did.
That's what you did.
I changed my mind off of evident circumstances.
You change your mind every week.
I get called Mr.
You change your mind every week. You change your mind over a good 5-game stretch, a bad 5-game stretch.
Now what happens to you, Dehls, and you're playing victim?
Is there not a difference? You change your mind after a good or bad week of a team when a coaching change happens. And it's evident that the Nets are a completely different team under this new coach. I changed my mind just like you changed yours.
Your opinion was less about the coach and more about you just didn't think the roster was that talented.
I didn't think the roster was as talented as Celtics, but Steve Nash, everyone's biggest gripe with the Nets was not Steve Nash.
Remember when we had the Nets and Celtics roster debate and you were like, the Nets roster can't compare to the Celtics
didn't you
roster?
also have the Celtics as like the 6th best roster?
Can I jump in?
No, I didn't, bro.
Hey, guys.
That's capping.
No, he's not capping.
He wasn't close. They were nowhere near.
Starting
Regardless, they were nowhere. They were so down. You were so low on them. It was disrespectful.
Okay, was I disrespectful?
You had like the fucking Timberwolves above us.
Talent-wise, they had 3 players in the top 25.
I don't want to hear about talent. I don't want to hear about talent. It's undisputed the Celtics have a better starting 5 than the Timberwolves.
Another one of my winners.
There's fucking 4 games. He has 6 winners.
CP3 washed allegations, 17-16. They didn't look too washed to me. I think he had a bounce back game.
Hopefully Book is good.
And my losers, it's easy. RJ Barrett stunk. 17 points, 6 for 19. Was bad. I didn't like it.
It's a Jordan Poole style.
Listen, and this is the thing I want to root for RJ. I do.
Don't.
If he proves me wrong, I'm happy. But ultimately, the Knicks ceiling always relied on his development. And in year 4, if he's not better than Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, there is a problem. He was the 3rd overall pick. He's supposed to be an all-star stamp by now. He's not. And then on Christmas, after he had a 40 ball, he dropped 17 points. Come on. Let's stop it. And the Grizzlies, their overconfidence, their cockiness, man, it's disgusting. The Grizzlies, they're talking about how they're up next in this dynasty world. The Warriors had their time. Now it's the Grizzlies' time. There ain't time. Nothing is going to be their time. I will pick the Pelicans before I pick the Memphis Grizzlies.
You also pick the Timberwolves before you pick the Grizzlies.
This team is a bunch of this is a confident, cocky team. They have not accomplished nothing, yet they walk around like they are a team that should be feared. No, they're not. The Warriors healthy will beat them again. It's not a debate. The Pelicans have beat them in the series. Let's be honest. The Nuggets with Jokic, they gonna do them in. Jaren Jackson still gets into foul trouble. I just don't like the persona the Grizzlies give off. It's too cocky for me. Too overconfident. Too arrogant. Humble yourself. You haven't even reached the conference finals yet. You're talking about being a dynasty. Let's ease up on that.
Are you gonna comment on this?
Yes.
Are you gonna stamp it?
No, I'm a Moran guy. I do think he has a point though. They are a bit cocky. That comes from they are a little bit arrogant. But
since when is that a problem?
It's not, because it comes from their confidence in the locker room, and that's why they play so well. But I do think there's a form of appropriate cockiness. I do think there is a thing of appropriate confidence. They do walk around like they have won something. So he has a point there. They do walk around like they have this sense of banners in their arena that they've won this. No, you are an up-and-coming team. The Pelicans don't act like that. The Cavs don't act like that. These are young, growing teams. But the Grizzlies, they don't have that appropriate cockiness. But you said Memphis can't beat all these teams. They're right up there with these teams.
I didn't
right
say
now.
that. I wouldn't pick them.
Oh yeah, but they've been amazing this year. They're right up with these teams. For me,
I hate that statement.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you like?
I never said they can't beat these teams. I said I think they won't. Not that they can't.
That's my least favorite statement out of your mouth. Every time you say it, it pisses me off.
Is there not a difference between can't and won't? Can't means I don't think you will ever do that. Won't, then I don't think you will.
The whole point of doing this show is your opinion. The only thing that matters is your opinion. Your opinion is that you don't think they can. But for some reason, now everyone else is, but it's still possible. They could. Am I wrong?
But I don't think they will.
So you don't think they'll beat these teams?
Yes, but
all right,
can they? Yes.
See, that's where it is.
What do you mean? Is there not a difference?
But Joel, the only thing that matters to me is what you think. That's the only thing that matters to me.
I just said I don't think they will.
All right, that's it. So when they do win, I don't want to hear but it always could. I don't want to hear that.
Bro, if they win, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm not surprised they won. Why would I be surprised if I think they can do it? Was I wrong about it? Yes.
Semantics.
Keep my eye on you, bro.
So it's always semantics.
I'm the semantics police
winners,
today.
Jordan Poole, undoubtedly. He had an amazing performance on Christmas. Christmas is a very important day for the NBA. Christmas games are very important. They have that playoff atmosphere, fear. Everybody's tuned in. So the fact that Jordan Poole can do that, he was, I think, the youngest player to score 30.
Yeah.
So the fact that he can do that on a Christmas game like that, especially when they needed it, they were like, they didn't had a terrible road trip. They got blitzed twice in a row. So they needed that performance from Jordan Poole, and he got ejected too. So shout out to him. He's definitely a winner. Winner, Celtics. They're just coming off a big win against the Bucks, one of those prime teams in the East. They just beat the Bucks. Yeah, that's definitely important. I think that's a great game. That's definitely a statement game because the Bucks and the Celtics are going to be around for a good amount of time. So that's a statement game. Losers, I want to say the Bucks to a degree because I do think to a degree the Bucks, Giannis's half-court offense needs to be really processed. I think we need to have a real discussion about the Bucks half-court offense and the fact that sometimes it has these little struggles or it has this little doubts because Giannis's ineffectiveness to hit the jump shot consistently. They lack a lot of creators on the offensive end. They lack a lot of guys that can move the ball. And Budenholzer's scheme is a little outdated. I think their half-court offense isn't as good as what we think. And I know Middleton is not there, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. But it's starting to become a question on their half-court offense. They're a great fast break team, but half-court-wise, they're not good. They're very easy to guard up. If you have the right guys, they are very easy to scheme up systematically. And with teams like the Nets, teams like Cleveland, even though they're young, teams like the Boston Celtics, they have the guys that schematically they can scheme up against the Bucks in a half-court offense. And then, of course, the Sixers, they won. I think something when James Harden and Embiid playing like that. The first half looked a little shaky. They didn't look too strong, but then they came out in the second half firing. Loser is definitely the Knicks because I think you get a primetime game like that, and you're coming off a big, big trip where you've won, 7 of your last 8 games, I believe. You're in a hot streak. This is the game, and now it's like, all right, our statement game. Let's put our team on the map. Show guys we are legit. Christmas is the moment, and you come out and you lose like that at home. I think that's an L for them. Not to say they're not. They can still change that narrative, but that's definitely was one of those days where, important wise, you go in there.
It could have been a statement win.
It could have been. You stamp your claim like we're legit. We're for real. And against a team like the Sixers, who are a semi-contender in the East, a team you might have to see down the road, I think that's something huge. And losers for the NBA is just not having Kevin Durant and Steph Curry on Christmas. Steph Curry you can't control because he got hurt. Kevin Durant, unfortunately, we did not get to see the Brooklyn Nets, who are one of the hottest teams in the league on Christmas. I think that was an L. They could have changed it last minute. They could have fixed some situations to get the Nets on there. We're tired of seeing the Lakers. I'm sorry, we are. We didn't really even want to see Dallas too much. I'll just be honest. That game was like a whatever.
It's Luka.
Yeah, it's Luka. I get it, but to see Kevin Durant and the Nets who've been hot, firing on all cylinders, I think that's something we might want to see better. But all in all, great Christmas. I had fun.
Great Christmas.
I didn't appreciate the Lakers shot right there.
That wasn't a shot. You guys just aren't like right now.
Without Anthony Davis, it's a different conversation. Of
but
course,
Anthony ain't playing. That's why.
But welcome to
Anthony Davis. What really is? Come on.
With all due respect to Anthony Davis, I mean, history shows he does not stay healthy.
That was distasteful, and this was a freak injury.
Riv, to your point, I want to piggyback off that with the Milwaukee Bucks half-court offense because people will think that it's just an issue that just showed up, but it's been an issue. When the Bucks won the championship, their offensive rating in the playoffs was 112.2, which ranked 11th out of 16 teams in the playoffs, which means they were an average to below average offense in that playoff run that they won the championship in. And in the regular season, that offensive rating would have ranked 14th in the NBA. The Bucks had an elite level defense in the playoffs. I think their defensive rating was number 1 in the playoffs. Their offensive rating was average. I do think with the Bucks, the finals and the championship run did fool us a bit because first round they scraped the Heat. They scraped the floor with the Heat. The second round was the NBA Finals, if we're being frank. The Nets and the Bucks. They beat the Nets in 7 games, although the Nets were unhealthy. They beat the Hawks, which we knew that was a fluke run. And they beat the Suns in the finals, and we're looking back at the Suns run like, they're not a real legit team. That championship run, you can't take it away from them. They won it, but it wasn't overly impressive. And one can argue, actually, I think it's a fact, if the Nets are healthy, they beat the Bucks in that series. They won because of injuries, but their offense was average throughout those playoffs. And in these playoffs, now that the Eastern Conference is legit, there are some big-time offenses and defenses. The Celtics are a big-time offense and defense. The Nets are a big-time offense and defense. If the Bucks don't figure out themselves offensively, they will not beat either of those teams in the playoffs.
And it's like I don't mean to shit on the Bucks, because I still think the Bucks are a contender. I still think they're a top team in the East. But if you look at the last 2-3 years, they've been pretty much a very simple offense, And Giannis, as much as we love to boast about his improvements in his game, he hasn't gotten better at the most important part that he needs to get better, and that's being a consistent jump shooter. And we're not even asking to be a consistent three-point shooter. It's the mid-range. Can you make it more consistent? Can you keep it in your game? Because that opens up the offense, especially when you're the best guy on your team. You're going to get the ball most of the time. His ability to pick and roll, be a roller, screen cut to the basket, his ability to set hard screens, and then his ability to pick and pop would be amazing, would open up the offense even more. And I think that's something that could hinder the Bucks down the road, because when you play – and this is why people like Kevin Durant over Giannis. I'm not saying I agree. Or people like shot makers like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry over Giannis, because their ability to make shots from anywhere on the floor and their ability to create offense is like top of the league, top NBA history. So, but this is why I had Joker over Giannis, because I feel like when you have a guy who has no flaw in his offensive game and he can create for others while also getting a buck and be able to space the floor, that's a different guy to guard. But Giannis is still
Stop acting like defense doesn't exist.
Defense exists, but let's stop acting like Giannis is the best defender on his team right now, because he isn't.
Giannis,
true.
Giannis
Brook
has,
Lopez is because Giannis is a rim protector. Brook Lopez is the best rim protector on his team.
Giannis has amazing stats, and he's the most dominant player in the NBA. But when we're talking about skill, that part of his game is just not there with other offensive players.
The thing is,
he can't shoot.
We don't talk about Giannis as skillful. He's dominant. And that's completely okay when you're averaging the numbers and doing the things, winning the ball games that Giannis is doing. Middleton being out, I'm not saying you guys aren't saying this, but Middleton being out is a huge blow for Milwaukee. 100%. You said that last week, absolutely. Without Middleton, this offense is not. It will not reach its max potential.
Even with Middleton in the playoffs, though, they were an average offense.
Are you saying last year?
No, in their championship run.
See, that's where I really don't care what the numbers say, honestly. In that sense, I really don't, because I watched Middleton be big when he was needed time and time again. So
isn't there a stat for his home versus away games?
No, for sure. There was a difference.
Yes,
there was a difference. But that last game against the Suns, he was great.
Giannis had 50.
He was a perfect counterpart with Giannis, absolutely.
I know, but he had 50.
But how many times did we see Middleton down the stretch of games, see Giannis passing the ball and say, Middleton, go get yours?
Yes,
that's how much trust they have in Middleton.
But let's also not ignore that before that run, Chris Middleton was an unworthy second option.
Not going to say you're wrong, but there was a moment against the Miami Heat in the bubble where Giannis was out and Middleton at least got them one. He got them one.